Yeah, so guys, welcome back. So in this video we are going to be looking at HTML tags and what are they. So basically HTML is not more than what you can see on my screen. You will be writing HTML tags, but you have to know what they are and you have to know what they serve. So let me open up my browser so that we'll see it while I do it. So let me just put it aside. So yeah, so what are HTML tag? So guys, basically what we have here right now, we have the hello world. Hello world doesn't have any tag. So firstly, let me open it on our browser so that we can see how it's being displayed before we continue. So yeah, HTML1. So guys, this is what we have. You can see we have the hello world here, and this is what we have here. So the HTML is no more than what you can see. HTML is made up of tags, made up of elements and content. So I will just give you a little hint, or let me say a hack to understand this properly. So let's take, for instance, we have a container that's supposed to hold let's say a liquid content like a bottle of Coke. You all know a bottle of Coke has a cover. So we have the cover, we have the container itself, that we have the content inside. So what houses that content is the bottle, but without the cover of the bottle, the content you put inside will drop off, right? So I want you to see your HTML tags like that. So basically this is a tag. This body you see is a tag. So we have this content inside the tag. So in HTML we have a whole lot of tags. This is not the only tags we have in HTML. So let's go back to our W3 school and look at the different tags we have. So if we click on this menu and scroll down, let me just let's go back to this guy. Yeah, so when we scroll down on this part, so guys, you can see that we have a whole lot of tags here. These are the HTML tags we have. So the first tag I'm going to introduce to you is called the H1 tag. The H1 tag. So in HTML we have the H1 stands for heading. If you want to declare an heading in your content, you use the H1 tag. So let's locate that documentation and see. Yeah, so we have H1 here. So let's click on H1 and see what it will give to us. So yeah, this is what we have. We have in HTML we have 6 different heading tags. So there are on different levels. So let's save our work and see what it looks like. Let's refresh our page. So guys, can you see what we have? You notice that the H1 is bigger while the H2 is close to the H1, just like that until you get to H6. So this H1 tag is this heading tag is what we use to declare headings on our document. So basically guys, you will not be writing code. What you'll be writing is just similar to this. You have a tag, you have a content, and you have another tag closing that content. So just like the illustration I gave earlier, you have a bottle. The H1 is the bottle, and this is heading 1 is the content in the bottle. Then this slash H1 here, the one with the slash, is the cover of the bottle. So altogether, this is called an element. An element is a combination of a tag and a content. So guys, you can call this H1's element. So when you hear someone says an element, that person is talking about a tag. The tag has a content, and the tag has a closing tag. Do we understand? Good. So what other tag do we have? We have the paragraph tag. So basically the paragraph tag is used to declare paragraphs in our document. You know, developers are actually lazy, so we don't like typing too much, wasting time typing on things that doesn't really matter. So let me just quickly generate a content. So on your editor you can type lorry, then you press tab, it generates the content for you. So let's close our tag here. So guys, let's refresh and see. Let's save first, refresh and see what we get. So guys, you can see we have the paragraph. So let's duplicate this paragraph down. Let's save. So guys, are you really understanding what I'm doing? So this is really simple. So in this tutorial, in this training, we are going to be covering like 10 different elements, 10 or 15 elements here, because in my career as a web developer, those are the elements I've used so far. We have a whole lot of HTML elements, but it's not all of them you will use in your career. So we are going to be treating the ones that are actually very important, though all of them are important, but we are going to be using them based on their use cases. So now we have talked about the H1, we have talked about the H2, the H3, the H4, H5, H6. Then we have talked about the paragraph tag. So now let's do a little bit of manipulation to our content. Let's take, for instance, you want to bold the content we have here. Let's take, for instance, you want to bold. Let me reduce the screen a little bit. Let's take, for instance, you want to bold this content. So there's an element called B element. So basically what it does is it bolds your content. So let's refresh our page and see. So can you see this, guys? You can see what we have here. This text, Lorraine Ibsen, has been bolded. Because why? Because we added an element that is responsible for bolding. So guys, I really want you to see this thing as HTML tags as different tools. Each tool has its own purpose, just like the way a mechanic has his toolbox. So I want you to see these tags as I want you to see HTML as a whole, as a toolbox for designing web pages, for structuring web pages. Why the HTML tags are tools inside the toolbox that allow us to structure those web pages. So as a web developer, you're supposed to understand each tools and what they do. So if I want to display an heading on my page, what will I need to do? I will need to call the heading tool. So for the heading tool, we have different sizes. If I want to display a very small size, instead I use the H1, the H4, the H5, or the H6 heading tag to display my heading. But if I want a very big heading on my document, on my web page, then I will have to use the H1, the H2, or the H3. So basically, guys, all these elements have their purposes and their use case. So your ability to able to know how or what they do is very, very important. Yeah, so let's go ahead and test out some other elements. So we have another element that is used to italic a text. It's used to italize a text. So let's save up and refresh our page and see what we have. So you can see this text here. Let me increase the zoom so that it will be bigger. So guys, you can see this text here. This text has been italicized. So we have another element for displaying a horizontal line. We have other elements for displaying a horizontal line. Let's say, for instance, you want to display a line after the first paragraph. Then you use the H arrow tag, which I just placed here. So let's save and refresh our page and see what we have. So you can see, guys, we have the H1, we have the horizontal line just beneath our paragraph. So there's a whole lot of tags that you will come across, but like I said earlier, we are going to be treating those few of them. These few that we are going to be talking about are those tags that you use in your day-to-day job as a web developer. But you can go ahead to study other tags on your own on W3 School. Make sure you read up on them and know what they do. Try to understand them, try to play with them and all of that. So guys, we have another element called the break element. It's called the BR tag. So basically what the BR tag does is it puts a space, it puts a break on your document, on your web page. It puts a line, not necessarily a line, it puts a space between paragraphs depending on where you place that tag. So for instance, we have let me take this up. We have two paragraphs. This is the first paragraph, this is the second paragraph. So normally the way the paragraph elements work is when it's being displayed on the browser automatically places a space above the paragraph and place a space below the paragraph. So even if we don't have this, let's refresh our page and see first. So even if you can see we have double space here, so even if we don't have this B arrow tag, we'll see I have a space between two paragraphs. So let's refresh and see. So you can see I still have a space between these two paragraphs. This is because by default the web browser attached a space above the paragraph and also a space below the paragraph. But if you want to add an extra space to an element, you can use the B arrow tag. Most time this B arrow tag is used in cases where you use an element that doesn't have a space above or below. So in subsequent videos we are going to be talking about those type of elements. So let's create more paragraphs so that our web page will look fine. So let me just copy this guy and paste it down. So let me use H1 here. This is my course classroom. So let's save and refresh. Wow, can you see this, guys? So guys, that's it for this video. What I want you to do is go on and practice these elements that we just talked about. Play with them, look for a document that has already been structured and try to replicate that document on a web page. For those of us that doesn't have a system yet, just like I explained in the previous video, you can go on JS Video with your phone, jsvideo.net with your phone. I'll put the resource on the resource part of this video, so you can go on jsvideo.net using your phone. So if your phone is a small phone, you might want to rotate your screen to make it wider so you can enjoy the benefits it serves you. Yeah, so basically when you are using Fido, it is very easy to use. It's very easy and user friendly. So this is where we type all our code. So let me just copy what we have here. Let me just copy all what we have here and paste it here. So let's paste what we have here. So when I click on run, I'm supposed to see my results on this part of the screen. So you see that it is exactly what we have, what we had on our browser. It's the same thing we have here. So guys, for those of you that does not have a system yet, I will recommend you to use JS Fido to run your code. Study it and practice it on your phone. I think they have a mobile app. I'm not really sure if they have a mobile app for mobile phones specifically, but I'm going to confirm that. If they do, that means we have to install the mobile app on our phones and make it easier. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.